Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you everybody for being here for the Tuesday Morning Breakfast Club. Today we have Joe Sanchez, which is a former Miami commissioner. And he's right now running for Miami-Dade County Commission, District 5. And he's going to tell us a little bit about himself and his political career and his plans for the beach. And before that, I would like to, number one, thank Lincoln Eatery for having us here. We have this beautiful space and wonderful coffee and and also, I would like to recognize Blake. Can you turn the camera? Yes, so Blake over there from the mayor's office. He always comes. He's here every Tuesday morning. We are very appreciative. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Mayor. And Marty will be here shortly. We may have a surprise for next. No, but not that surprise.
We're full of surprises.
Today we are full of surprises. I'm not going to say that one. I have another one. For the next Tuesday morning, I went to the dermatologist yesterday. We got to keep checking our, like spots. Sometimes we say, I had a couple of spots that the guy asked, how long do you have it? And I said, well, I have it since forever. I call it a people spot. I see everybody with it. It was not. So, he will come here. He offered to come here to the next Tuesday morning, and at the end, he's going to give a free skin screening and sunblock. So this is a good surprise. We're going to have a better surprise. So it's not going to do, and tell your surprise later on, or just let it be a surprise. Up to you. And here I leave you with Joe Sanchez. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Thank you. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to be here in Miami Beach. First of all, let me start by thanking you for taking time off of your busy schedule to be here and learn about the candidates that are running for office. You are the most important person here because you are the ones that decide the future of your community and the decisions that are made by politicians. And it's important that you know to do your homework and research on who you're voting for. In today's world, we have technology that you can get into the computer and Google somebody and find out about that history. But I want to talk to you about who I am. Who is Joe Sanchez? Joe Sanchez is homegrown. I have lived in District 5 for 55 years. 55 years. I've left the district, and the only two times that I left the district was when I served the U.S. Army. When I served this country, and when I became a state trooper, that I went up to Tallahassee to be able to get certified to be a police officer. That's something that I've done. I have served this community for many, many years. 40 years of public service with integrity, honesty, professionalism in this community. No one can point a finger at Joe Sanchez and say he is a crook, he stole, he did something inappropriate, or he has done unethical things. I stand proud of my accomplishments. I'm here today because it's important for you to understand that Miami Beach and District 5 is not for sale. Our community is not for sale. What's happening in Tallahassee is that legislation is being passed, laws are being passed, that are affecting our quality of life. And we see it. How many more buildings are going to be built when we realize that we may not have the water to provide those buildings or be able to drink for the next generation? While some politicians only care about their next election, this one here cares about the next generation. Because I'm going to serve you. I'm not going to serve special interests. I know what affects our community. I live in this community. My parents got here from Cuba, and I was 5 years old. It was the toughest decision they ever made. To come to a country where they speak language, to But they believe in the American dream. They got here and they worked hard. They worked hard. They came here and they accomplished something that a lot of people struggle today to accomplish. And that is to give their children that opportunity to succeed. And I have done that. My children have done that. I'm proud to say that all I've done is work hard through my entire life. I served this community and I wore a uniform. And it wasn't just to wear a badge or a uniform, it's the weight to carry that responsibility that I had. Working for almost 36 years. You know who I am, you just didn't see me in uniform. Because if I were to, there's a picture I think, if I wear my trooper hat, you know exactly who I am. For 16 years I was in front of the camera, addressing the needs, the concerns, and the issues that happen in this community. I've seen it all. Through riots, through hurricanes, through the FTA, through a lot of things that happen in this community, I have stood here. While many people have left this community, I have stayed here in this community and continue to serve. Let me tell you what's happening and why I'm running. I'm running because there's a disconnect between local government and the people that it serves. I don't know when was the last time that you went to County Hall and you went up there to speak. I did, and I go, and I went. Because the simple reason is that when there was a vacant position, and in the last 5 years, there's been 3 vacant positions in that county commission. 3 times there's been an appointment. 3 times people have been appointed by politicians. What has that done? It's denied you the right to vote for who you want to get elected, and that's democracy. And I went in front of that commission and said, listen, you should hold a special election, let the people decide. But no, the reason why they appoint people is because it's a power stroke of that commission. It's who's going to stay as the chair, who's going to be the next chair, and who's going to be the next chair, and then who's going to hold these special committees, like the port, the seaport, transportation, housing. That's what it's all about. So they denied us the opportunity to vote. I was retired. I just retired from the Florida Highway Patrol. And I said, I'm not going to allow that. I'm not running to be a part of the system. I am running to challenge the system. Because we are being left out. We don't have a voice anymore. You could go to that commission, you see commissioners talking to their staff, stoling their phone. They don't care. I'm not saying all of them, and I'm going to make that very clear. There's a lot of elected officials that really care about the community. But there are some that only care about their pockets and their position. They don't care about the next generation. They only care about the next election. I'm running because my opponent, who served in Tallahassee for 4 years, has a reputation of unethical behavior, and I'm not here to speak bad about it. But you can Google it. You can find out everybody's past, including mine. And I'm running because I am tired of seeing elected officials cater to special interests, to the people who are connected, and then we are out here struggling to be able to pay our bills and be able to provide for our families. Ladies and gentlemen, let's break the machine. Join me in fighting the establishment. My campaign is a campaign of integrity versus money. Quality of life, public safety versus corruption. You have a chance to join a campaign, and it says it right there, the People's Commission. And I am running, and we are going to win this election. For the simple reason, how many of you live in a condominium? I'm going to ask 3 simple questions. 3 simple questions. Because there are people out there that say, oh, as a state representative, I fought hard to preserve and defend the people who are living in condominiums. Those decisions that are being made in Tallahassee are affecting us. But they spin everything. You are lied to. If you own a condominium, let me ask you something. Very simple. Has your condo fee been lowered?
Oh, no.
No. Right? I mean, No. Is your condo fee, is your condo insurance been lowered? No. Has your reserve in your buildings been lowered? No. Guess who benefits out of all this? The private sector. People in Tallahassee who spend millions of dollars lobbying politicians. Today, my opponent is raising hundreds of thousands of dollars for special interests. I'm lucky if I raise about $60,000 in this campaign. But you know what? We're going to work hard at the $60,000. And we're going to get our message across. And it's time that people wake up. And people realize that we need to break that machine here in the county. Because what's happening in Tallahassee is that Tallahassee elected officials who don't know anything about our issues, because they don't even live here. And I'm not talking about our elected officials in Tallahassee. I'm talking about other legislators that are passing laws that don't even live here, don't even know what the problem is. And we know our problems because we know our problems local. And I'll tell you one thing. Local politics is local. We know our issues, and we must fight them. Ladies and gentlemen, what's the responsibility of the county commission? Public safety, infrastructure, transportation, etc., etc., etc. Alone, you've paid taxes to get the pipelines and the water lines and all this stuff done, and it hasn't been done. In some areas, it is being done. But still, we struggle with what? Flooding. And you don't need a politician to cozy up to other politicians, and I know them in Tallahassee. You need one that's going to fight for you and not negotiate. Because Miami Beach is not for sale. Miami Beach is not for sale. And my commitment is to you, not special interests. And that's why I'm running. Listen, if I step out of this race, she walks in. And Tallahassee gets what they want. The county gets what they want. And I guarantee you that you are not going to get what you want. Because we're seeing, look, Tallahassee just passed a law last year, live local. Have you heard about that law? It's a horrible law. It is a law that's going to destroy the quality of life in great neighborhoods. Because what it does is, if the developers say it's an affordable unit, 600 square feet, $2,000. 600 square feet, $200. That's affordable. They can supersize their project. What does that bring? More traffic, more pollution, more congestion, and it ruins the quality of life. My commitment to you is that I will work for you. I will work to improve your quality of life. I have the experience. I have the time. I have the independence. I'm old. Don't owe anybody any money. Special interests will not give me money, and I don't want their money. I don't want any political endorsements. The only endorsement I seek are yours. To join my campaign, to get your neighbors to reach out to us so we can talk to them and get them to join the campaign for the people. We can't continue to be sold out. And that's why I'm running. And that's why I thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to come here today. And no introduction better than who's walking down the aisle, my dear friend. You know, when I first got elected to the City Miami Commission 20-some years ago, no, 17 years ago, she was the mayor. She was the mayor, and we worked together. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the best mayors Miami Beach has ever had. Ever had. All right, so you've heard about me, you know about my platform. I do believe in one thing, and I'm going to talk about it. Property taxes for seniors. Property taxes for seniors, I will fight to eliminate them. Because you own your property, your condo, you paid it for years and years and years. You're at a point in your life you are, you know, you're living off your retirement, you're living off whatever you survive on, and you paid that property already for years. So that is something that I will work for. I will fight for. I don't need this. Hey,
No, it's not the microphone, it's this.
give a politician a... Don't worry about it.
20 minutes it turns
No, we are on Facebook, Yeah.
Check it. Oh, it's back on.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So, listen, people. I want to talk to you a little bit about my accomplishments, right? Because if I'm running for office, what have you done? Very important. When I was a city commissioner in the city of Miami many years ago, I get to the city of Miami and the city was bankrupt. Remember? The governor had appointed an oversight board to that commission. I was a state trooper, and I get into that commission, and we had to deal with that. Well, we got that city out of a financial crisis by making very tough decisions. Very tough decisions. But also, I committed myself to always representing the district that I lived in, and I represented, which was Little Havana. That was basically District 3 was Little Havana. Have you heard about Los Portugales?
Yes.
I started that as a commissioner, and I took an area. Well, it wasn't me because I had a lot of people help me, and we worked together, we were able to accomplish. We took an area that was economically flatlined. And by working with merchants, with city programs, small business loans, business people, the community, today, every time I drive by, it's a tourist destination. With hundreds of thousands of people visiting an area that was economically flatlined. You know, if you look back, Lincoln Road had no problems many years ago. But it's come back, and it needs to come back. I mean, it needs to come back. Listen, Miami Beach, anytime that I have visitors come down. Hey, come down to Miami. Where do you want to go? Miami Beach. I said, why do you want Miami Beach? We have to protect Miami Beach. Ladies and gentlemen, as long as I'm your commissioner, Miami Beach will not be for sale. I will fight, and I will work with the commissioners, and I will work with state representatives, and I will work with anybody as long as it is a good law to protect the environment and protect our people and protect our quality of life. Somebody asked me about the UTV line. The line stays exactly where it's at. It's not moving. We need to protect the environment. We need to protect our beaches. If we don't protect our beaches, I think Miami Beach loses out on that. Because everybody that comes down to Miami Beach wants to come down and visit the people of Miami Beach and enjoy the beach. You know, I also did the Downtown Development Authority. I was the chairman, and we turned downtown through the master plan. I had experience in that. I was the chairman of the Downtown Development Authority. I was the chairman of the Bayfront Park. You know, the experience is there. The time is there, and my independence is there to work with everyone. So I think I've talked enough. I don't want to talk all of it because I'm here to listen to you, what your concerns are. I think a good politician or somebody who represents you listens to you and finds solutions to your problems. So that's why I'm here today. So once again, I want to thank you. Please don't leave because we have a surprise. Of course, we brought a cake to celebrate his birthday. It was on the 4th. Yeah, I believe she turns 25. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity to hear me as a commissioner. Please don't forget to vote. If you want to get involved in the campaign, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, Joe Sanchez, and then of course you can get all the information from my team who's here. I'll give my team a round of applause, all those that are helping me out.
Yes,
We do have a great team. And we're knocking on doors, we're listening to people, we're getting them excited about this campaign because you know what? We're going to break the machine. We are going to break that machine at the county hall. So thank you so much. God bless you. Don't leave. Let's have a good time.
First, we're going to have questions.
Yes.
Before they leave, you want your first question. Hold on. Sorry that I came late, but I have terroristas at home.
yes.
Terrorists. I have 2 puppies, and Brady, and a cat, and I leave cat outside. I get up at 6:30, I could still not make it. I'm getting old. Yes. My birthday, I turned 87.
Hoorah!
87. Not one day. Many days.
You don't look it.
So I want to thank Valerie. Valerie always pick up the slack when I let her. You know, many times she comes to my aid. More times than you really think.
Don't make me
Really
cry.
helps me a lot. She takes me to happy hours all the time.
That's why she likes me.
And she takes me any place that she has a party. She wants to keep me busy. So I think that
It's hard to keep up with Mari, I tell you.
professionally. She works very hard. She has a homeless
Non-profit.
She works here on the homeless, and she has a non-profit that does very well for the homeless. And we need to keep that funding in place all the time, but it really has helped Miami.
Thank
It
you,
really
Mari.
helps Miami. Anyways, okay, first question.
I have a question, but I want to say something. Okay?
Wait for the microphone.
You're short.
You know better.
I'm always short.
No.
Okay.
You don't get to touch the microphone.
I just wanted to tell you a little
Over
story
here.
I want to tell you a little story about how I met Joe. Joe was, I guess, canvassing and checking out Collins Park a couple of weeks ago. And being that he was a former highway patrol, he noticed that my girlfriend, Lori Kaufman, started to fall asleep. And I thought it was a joke, and I was taking pictures of her. It turns out she was having a heat stroke.
Oh.
And he ran over, and he rescued her and called 911. So,
I didn't pay for that one. I swear I didn't pay for that advertisement. But yes, it was a fortunate incident. I was out there, campaigning, meeting people, getting to know people. And yes, exactly. I looked over and she was, I slumped over and she was taking pictures. I went, she doesn't look that well. So I went over and we checked her out, and yeah, she was having a heat stroke, and we put her down. We put her legs up, stuff that I'm trained to do as a state trooper. We called 911, and you guys have a wonderful 911 system. I mean, the fire rescue got there quick. They took care of her, and then we followed up, and thank God she's doing great. So I was just at the right time at the right place.
Good.
Always to the
any
rescue.
questions? One question okay. I'll get back there. I'm standing right here. George?
Okay. My question, of course, is, and it has to do with rapid transit, mass transit. We have a problem. People that work here live in Miami. People that work that live here work in Miami. So it's a cross thing. We can't get the things are in a congestion. What do you plan to do about mass transit?
Well, listen, we got to get people out of their cars and into a system that works. Our transportation system is getting worse and worse everywhere, not only in Miami Beach, but everywhere, because of cuts and whatever's happening. We need to focus and work together and come up with a strategy and a plan in the city, man, and the county to find ways to get people in and out of the beach as quickly as possible. I'll tell you one thing, that water taxi has been a success. That water taxi, you can take it, you come into the beach, and you can take it to downtown. We need more of that. We need to start thinking outside the box when it comes to transportation, because transportation is so important. Listen, when you see some people sitting in a bus shelter without a cover, and it's 104 degrees, and these people are going to go work, that's not our country. We should invest money in making sure those individuals are protected from the environment, whether it's the rain or sun. So there's a lot of things that we can do, and I am committed to improving things and doing what's right for this community.
There is one problem with that, the light rail. There has been, I don't know where that is right now, but the light rail comes, and the mayor speaks a lot about this. The light rail comes with an upzoning to create more housing for people to live. If they could take that out, if the county, if you could figure out how the county could take that, maybe the citizens would agree on the light rail coming, and maybe the commissioners would agree. The other protection is the historic, if you come into Fifth Street, it's a historic, I don't understand why they can't come in through 41st Street. But, I've been advocating for that since I was there, that it be linked.
I remember.
The link is better on 41st because that is closer to the middle of this, and then they could travel whichever way they want. So maybe you could work on that.
I am committed to that.
Okay, 2 seconds over there on the bottom, thank you.
I'm committed to that. I remember years ago, it was a topic there was back and forth. Listen, all that we need to do is we need to work together. Who better than Miami Beach, than the mayor and the residents of Miami Beach, what they want? I agree. The concern back then was the historic side coming in. Yes, better option is 41st Street. And that's something that we will work. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. If we're going to be able to get people in and out of Miami Beach in a civilized way, in a way that's going to be fast and quick to get people back into downtown or into the city and get them to Miami Beach, we have to work together. And I'm committed to that. Yes.
No, I'm not right here. No, I'm a comment about the transportation. You've got to wait 1 second, because you can bring it up.
I'll be quick, I promise. I'm not familiar with the Miami Beach Commission. When were you on the city of Miami Beach Commission?
I came on in 1998 and left in 2009.
Oh, okay, so for quite some time.
Miami, not
City of
Miami.
Miami, yes.
Okay, not Miami Beach,
And
yeah.
I represented Little Havana, District 3.
So the county commission seats are nonpartisan, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
I guess I was a little surprised that your opponent now went from being a state house representative to a county commission seat. I thought the progression in politics was the other way around. Local, county, state, federal. So I was a bit confused about that. But anyways, basically I just wanted to know what the background was and how long ago you were in politics. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. I served from, I got appointed in 1998. And in 2009, I ran for mayor for the city of Miami and came in second place. I don't like to say I lost, I came in second place. So I went back to what I enjoyed doing, which was law enforcement. And I went back to the Florida Highway Patrol where I became the public information officer. And I'll tell you a little story. I walk in the station, coming back to start my job, and the commander calls me up and goes, you're going to be the new PIO. I go, what? He goes, yeah, you're going to be the new PIO. So you got to be kidding.
What
I
is
just
PIO?
got public information officer. Public information officer. And I go, you got to be kidding. He goes, no, you're going to be the new public information officer. And I go, why? He goes, because when you're in the city commission, you had a camera on your face every other day. You could handle a camera in the media. You're it. So I ended up getting that position, which I really enjoyed. It was always great giving the public information, letting you know what was going on in the community and how to, be safe when you drive. And it was an incredible experience for me.
Okay. Hi. I want to tag on to this. I'm not sure what I want to say, and I just want to give you an example of how difficult transportation is to deal with. It doesn't cost any money. What it costs is ingenuity and negotiation. We have had the buses change now almost, I guess it's 3 years or 4 years. Supposed to be better. We were told on West Avenue that it would be no more than 15 minutes for a bus. You wait 45 minutes for a bus. That's not normal. If you want to get cars off the road, you have to let people know that they're not going to be standing there forever. I have suggested, I'm a CITT, whatever it is, Citizens Transportation Ambassador, for years. And I have suggested that the 3-100s that come all in a row, that go for tourists that we pay for, should be changed to alternate. One come down Alton Road, 3 years, nothing's happened.
Is that paid by the county or?
By the county.
It's a
So-
regular bus?
Yeah, of course, the 100, the 101 that goes to Mount Sinai. Don't get sick on the weekend because there's nowhere to get to Mount Sinai. Basically, we pay for tourists. That's the way it goes. How is that going to change with you as our commissioner?
Well, it's that disconnect that I hear from people when I walk the community and I talk to people, especially people that depend on public transportation. The director of public transportation and the commission should have at least monthly meetings with communities where the issues are being affected to try to find solutions to the problems. I'm telling you, what happened in the county is that the disconnect between government and the people. People run for office and they show up when it's election time. They show up to everything. Once they get elected, they disappear.
Can you give me an example of what you have done to change that disconnect?
What can you do?
Yeah, what can I do? Because
He has not.
when I was a city commissioner, we didn't deal with transportation. Anything to deal with transportation is the county. Any signs, there are different responsibilities that government have now. As a county commissioner, transportation is a key factor. And I will work with the director to have meetings in the communities to hear people's concerns and try to address them.
They've heard people's concerns and it hasn't changed.
Have you had a meeting?
Who has heard? Let me get down to the, who have come
We have quarterly meetings.
with whom? No, not name. Is it a commissioner?
No, directors
Well,
of
that
transport.
directors don't,
Yeah.
directors,
They're
they're
listening
listening
to
to
the people, and they're not
you.
changing.
And this is why there is a disconnect. The disconnect is the director comes and listens, and he maybe agrees with you. Or she agrees with you, but unless they pass it along, unless the commissioner that is representing this area brings it up, puts it on the dais, because I don't like private things. Many people know that I don't like the discussion to be private, because private never accomplishes anything. You have to do it openly and let free. No. I'm not saying you. I say the commissioner that is representing the area.
I understand.
You did your job when you told the director,
With a group of government people.
but they don't do anything.
It is the commissioner's responsibility
Exactly.
to hold people accountable. And that's
You don't
not
talk to the
happening.
commissioner.
And that's not happening.
Exactly.
If anybody's recording me, please listen to me. It is not happening. There's a disconnect between government and the people we serve. We see it every day. That's why I'm running for office. I'm not running to be the establishment. I'm running against the establishment.
So let me say something. Who do we, most people call? I'll point out Beverly, because Beverly knows them. But who do they call? Do they call somebody below the commissioner? Most of the time, you get in touch, she will get in touch with the commissioner and try to fix the problem that is. Why? Because it trickles down. If the commissioner knows that you want something and more than one person calls, that is votes. It translates to votes. And if you don't react, that person that you don't react to then will get upset and be against you, and things happen. And so you need to understand the process, like people that have been involved for many years. Yes, I also will tell the person that works there, but you have to also tell the person above, so that they last, and then the person that works in the system can tell the problem and what he did. So I think that's how it works. What do you think?
I agree with you 100%.
So, sometimes the commissioner never hears. Sometimes the city manager never hears, because they keep it down. They keep it down. They don't want trouble. They don't want to work. They keep it down.
Okay. First of all, I would recommend that you have a representative when you're elected at City Hall representing, so the people of Miami Beach have somebody, a point person to go to, and they can tell them what they need from you, and so that you will get that information.
All right, thank you.
So that's a recommendation. Secondly, we have a problem with Beach High, which is something that you can take care of. There is a turn signal for the parents to come and leave their children off at Beach High. The turn signal is only for non-turning. So they have to cut across the traffic, and it's very dangerous on Day Boulevard.
There's only a light, there's no turn signal, and they need a turn signal. And it's up to the city to take care of it. It's been 12 years, and we've gone to everybody, and that light does not have a turn signal. There's going to be an accident, and then maybe we'll get a turn signal like we got a signal at Nautilus. We don't want that to happen. We want the turn signal before there's an accident. And here's my question. I want to know what you know about co-location as far as schools go and homeschools.
I'm sorry, can you repeat it? I didn't quite hear it.
Co-location and hope schools. Having to do with...
And if you don't know,
Co-location.
that's okay.
That's okay, but it's
Put the
something
microphone
that
on her.
that you should know about, and if you don't know about, see, I do education. That is my main information. So it is going to really affect Feinberg Fisher, which is one of our schools, and basically what it is. No, what it is right. It will affect it tremendously, and other schools in your area as well.
And we know, we know that is, well, it's not charter school. It's a charter school coming into the school system and leasing from the school system the space that it's empty. But it's more complicated. It's a short explanation.
I'm aware of it. It's complicated. That's a complicated subject.
Yes, and I don't know that you have anything, that the county has anything to do with it.
School board.
But I know, and she knows, and I know. But as you know, every pressure that comes from citizens should go through commissioners, the city commissioners, and county commissioners, and they all should align into something. And so that's why she's bringing it up. Because she does work very hard for schools. Okay. Let me see. Over here.
Commissioner Sanchez,
Yes.
long time that I see. Okay.
We go back years.
Yes, we are going back. Now, you know that it's crucial, the relationship between the commissioners and Tallahassee, so we can bring the law, the grants, etc., etc. Now, how is your relationship with Representative Basavi, and how will you envision a relationship when you will take position as a commissioner in Miami-Dade County?
Look, I've been involved in Tallahassee for many years. When I was the vice president of Florida PBA, I have great relationships with representatives in Tallahassee. I think you don't need to cozy up to them, but you need to work with them to address the issues of the people. You spoke about Vivian Basavi. Look, whether you dislike him, like him, or debate him, he is an individual that in Tallahassee, I've seen him fight for this community. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for his friendly amendment to live local, Miami Beach history, the historic site, would have been in jeopardy. So you've got to give him credit for that. I work with everybody. At the end of the day, just how I speak to you, I speak to everybody. We're here to work together to find solutions to problems. What's happening in Tallahassee is everybody's got their own kingdom. Everybody has their own kingdom. And what we need to do is come together for one kingdom, and that is people's services, people's quality of life every day, and voting on issues that protect our environment, protect our quality of life, and protect us, which it isn't happening. As I stated before, you will have legislators in Tallahassee passing laws that affect certain communities which they don't know anything about. And that has to stop, because we know the local issues here. The commissioners in the beach, the people who live in the beach, they know the issues. Those are the issues that we need to fight for, not what Tallahassee wants to pass down to us. Horrible law. That H.R. 399, if they would have passed that law, they got killed. That's another law that gives developers the right to do whatever they want. And we have to stop. I am running to serve your interests, not the special interests, not lobbyists, not big corporations. And if you don't believe me, look at my campaign contributions. All right? I am running as the People's Commissioner.
Anybody have a question? Nobody has a question.
Going once.
Well.
Well, if there are no more questions, I am going to stick around because I don't just come in and leave. I was the second one to get here because Michelle was the first one to get here.
Oh, that you all came
Yes.
very early and
Yes.
prepared everything. And then
Yeah, because hey, we're like a three-man show. But don't leave because we have a little surprise. We're celebrating someone's birthday who's turning 25 today, and we're gonna cut a cake.
Yes, we love Maddie Bauer. We love her very much. Anyway,
She just took the microphone.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Now I forgot the question. Now I forgot the question. What I was going to ask.
Okay, he'll come back.
I'll come back. Oh, housing. What are your plans, Mr. Sanchez, regarding housing? To affordable housing, yes, because we're in desperate need of that. Because unfortunately, the rent has gone way too high for a lot of people, and everybody is looking for affordable housing to pay less rent. And as we all know, that is our biggest expense that we have as residents, the rent. And in the beginning, there wasn't such a demand for people to be looking for affordable housing because the rent wasn't as high. But now, it has gotten so high that everybody's after that. So what are your ideas?
Affordable housing is a key issue. Let me just first say that Commissioner Higgins did an incredible job on affordable housing. And I have the experience because when I was a city commissioner in the city of Miami, I started the Little Havana Affordable Housing. That was years ago when it first started. And the money's there. The money's there. The money's there from the federal government, from Tallahassee, tapping in and working with developers, good developers who are focused on smart growth and to provide affordable housing. Affordable housing is my priority. For the simple reason is that today's people that are retiring, some of them may not be able to afford to still live in their house. And that's why I support doing away with property taxes for seniors. We need to provide that assistance to people that are there. You know how many calls I get, and I'm not even a commissioner? I'm on the list for affordable housing. I can't get any help. I've been on the list for 2 to 3 years. That's the demand that we have. And it could be done if we work together. The money's there, putting it together to be able to provide affordable housing. I am going to continue the role model that Commissioner Higgins put forth because it works. I'm studying it, and it works. She did a great job on that, and that is my commitment to this community, to provide as much affordable housing. When I did it as a city commissioner, things were different because there were areas where the land was cheap back then, very cheap in certain neighborhoods. And that's why we were able to do it. I go to these affordable housing, and those are buildings that I promoted and got done when I was a commissioner. And it's great to walk in and say, I remember when they were pulling out the numbers, the raffle, to give apartments to people, and I was pulling out the numbers. And thank God these individuals still remember me after such a long time. So affordable housing will be my priority. I will work hard on that, work with everyone to be able to provide affordable housing for those in need.
Now, let me ask you this, because I'm sure she did a lot. I really don't know how much of that she's done was in Miami. I really don't know.
No, not a
And
lot.
I can't debate that point, and
You're right.
No,
No, you're absolutely right.
I want to make sure you understand, very personal, that in Miami Beach, we have a waiting list of thousands of people. Okay? And so, although you see, and people see, the majority of the time, the big condominiums, the millions of dollars that people pay for condominiums, there is a group of people, particularly elderly, that are in great need because they get from Social Security maybe $500, $700 to live on for the whole month. As a matter of fact, in Rebecca Tower, Smith and Walensky gives food, brings food once a month, or I don't remember right now how, because at the end of the month, many of these people do not have enough money to eat. And so, you know, the people that understand this problem, and these people are not drug addicts, people that work many years here, people that have lived here for 20 and 30 years. It's not the newcomers who don't have family. Our affordable housing is usually for elderly, alone, and veterans, and maybe disabled. And so, you know, I believe that people only see the glamour in Miami Beach, and we are forgotten about the people that live here and take the bus and live in affordable housing and go shopping and all that type of stuff.
Let me present to you how
It's
I want to address that.
it's them. It's not. Yeah. You're right.
Let me address that. When I was a commissioner in Illinois, we were able to work with developers through incentives in the city to be able to provide. If you were building a building that had 30 apartments, if you were to commit 6 or 7 or 8 of those apartments to affordable housing, you receive the assistance not only from expediting your program, your permits, but also the assistance for you to be able to provide them. Let me tell you why that worked. Because when you have a building and you look from the outside in, you can't tell who's affordable housing and who's not, unless you look at their bank account. So you don't stereotype anybody. And that is something that I will look into to work with developers to be able to provide that. Because in Miami Beach, it is going to be very hard to build a 20-story building for affordable housing. You have to work with the commissioners, you have to work with everybody to get it done. It could be done, but then it's just much harder on this side, as I call it, this side of the water.
Well, it's because people don't understand what it is to be affordable housing. But it is not as hard as I sit at the housing authority here in Miami Beach, and we have built coming online in Northeast, and we bought and we still buying, and when it comes into buying, HUD helps, but we need the county to understand that we need the county. And I think that the county,
The count comes along and help for the
housing authority, the county housing authority, I don't know how they're building, and I know there's a lot of renovation going on by one of the developers, all the old buildings, because I go there.
The ladies has done all those.
So, but we need to understand here in Miami how it works. They give developers a lot of things, and they give here already a lot of things. But there is one little problem that we have, and that's called workforce housing. And workforce housing, people think, oh, it's for that work. The last time I was at the commission meeting, I spoke up because it really burns me that commissioners say, oh, we're doing workforce housing. Well, an apartment with a 2-bedroom, it's $4,500.
No teacher can
for
afford
rent.
that.
Nobody.
No teacher can afford
Unless
that.
you
No
make,
police officer.
unless you make
No fire.
more money than you can't afford that. An apartment of 1 bedroom, it's 3,000 and something. And a studio, it's over 1,500.
Yeah, 1,500,
It's more than
1,600.
1,500.
2,000 and up.
And the developer gets money to create that. So the only winning person there is the developer. Because And the House and the commissioners, they say, oh, this is the most marvelous thing in the world. It's a give, it's a give away to the developer. We are paying for the developer. They take away the parking. They just took away parking from something. And when they take away the parking in the building, the developer is the one that wins because we, the residents, are the ones that are paying for their parking. When we make a garage, it is welfare for developers. It is horrible that they do that. And we just take it. And I talk about it more than once. I always say it. But people are afraid to stand up and fight. And without activism, nothing is going to happen. We're going to be rolled over. So, yes.
Once again, it's about accountability.
And you bring up a good point, Maddie, because now they're talking about, at least in North Beach, which is where I live, they're talking about, affordable housing where developers are going to build something and there's going to be no parking. And like you were saying, that, eventually there's parking would be paid for by us. But it goes back to our public transportation. If you want to build more housing that doesn't have any parking, you have to have better public transportation. So the two are tied in, and yet you don't see any of that tie.
No, because it's easier to do what we're doing here, with the guys. With the guys and the hidden agenda that we're giving money to developers that will come back to commissioners, not to graft, but to get reelected.
Campaign
To
contribution.
campaign contribution. And nobody talks about it. And when we talk about it,
And it's something that's happening throughout District 5.
they don't get after you. You have to lose the fear of discussion, the truth. That you have to, residents need to discuss the issue openly. Because you can discuss it with each other. You don't have to push it. Why are you gonna only getting angry like I get angry? But at least everybody's listening. I encourage people to say no to North Beach, no to no parking. There is no transportation in the whole Miami that takes you every place like in New York, like in Washington maybe, like in other places. And they're trying by cutting the bus, cutting the cars. They're going to get transportation? No. We got to work on the transportation. Miami Beach wants to say we're going, and they're working on the trolley, but only around here. You can't go any place in the trolley but in Miami Beach.
And when you do away with parking, guess where people park? In the streets. I did.
One more, and that's it.
Speaking of developers, what would you do to protect seniors in the old buildings that developers claim are dysfunctional and want to knock down? There are many, many, many seniors who live in older buildings throughout the county, but especially here on the beach. And if you live on the water, which is where we live, your property is very desirable. Developers contribute to people's campaigns, and so they win. What are you going to do to protect me, who is 81 years old, has been living there for 38 years, and a developer wants to knock down my whole building?
Let me clarify that question. Let me clarify the question.
You go, girl.
Okay, because
I know
the way-
Maddie's going to do
No. Let me clarify, because some of the issues happening actually comes from the state that the developer has come in.
that part. I understand. That's why
Okay,
I want to
so-
know what the county can do to circumvent
Well,
the state.
did you ask that question to the previous?
Yes, I did.
What did
And you clarified. Because you determined how she had voted for
not only
developers.
voted, but brought it up?
Yeah.
So,
Listen, these laws that have passed in Tallahassee
I
are
know
not.
they're against us. I need to know what the county can do to protect
The
us.
county is going to have to provide some type of assistance to some of these seniors that are going to be losing their condos.
Why?
Because of the assessments?
No, it's not the assessment
it's not
that she's
the
talking
assessment.
about.
My building specifically, and I'm,
My building specifically is in excellent condition.
Yes.
And we're about to be assessed. It's going to be ridiculous. Some of us have applied to county assistance. We all know that. It is at that moment where we're preparing that a developer comes in, lies, deceits, says our building is not, gets all kinds of, like, I'm not sleeping at night because I'm worried if I'm going to have a home next year. It's very, very bad for my health. It's bad for the blood pressure. We've had 2 people who died in the last month from the stress. It's very, very bad.
You're talking about the buyouts.
The buyout.
Buyouts.
It's what she's
and there's
talking about.
nothing wrong with my building.
I know.
It's,
It's the buyouts. But
what can you do to protect us?
the county to protect you, there's going to have to be a way to provide some type of legal assistance to be able to you can maintain. Because I'll tell you what
We can
happens.
make laws specifically for older people.
The county cannot help because look at what we're doing now, what is happening. This is the problem. Wait.
We can use health laws and elder abuse to work around the...
Well, maybe you could. Maybe you could. And maybe that's
That's
what
illegal
you have to ask
action. It's
him.
very illegal. But listen, the laws that we're passing in Tallahassee, and we got to focus on where the problem came from. It came from Tallahassee, right? We agree on that.
But I don't want to lose my home.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But the law comes from Tallahassee. They passed that law that affects you because who benefits out of those laws? I'm going to tell you 3 people benefit from that. Realtors, engineers, and developers.
I know that.
And the problem is, yeah, you're committed to have all the requirements, but if you don't, you either lose it. And how are you going to lose it? It's a buyout. The developer will buy your
I get all
problem.
of that. I need to know the solution. I need to know what I don't think we have.
I don't have a solution to it, but it's got to be through a legal process that we can provide some type of legal assistance for you to fight that. Because what they're doing is, it's an injustice.
Well, let me ask you this question to clarify this issue.
It's affecting our health. And elder abuse is a
You can't sleep at night because you can probably lose.
So the question that she's posing to you, or the suggestion that she's posing, if you do get elected and you are up there, are you going to sit down with the attorney that services the county attorney and say, what law we have in the book that will help our problem that we're having in the buyout, and how can we use them? And then follow through, because the problem is not bringing it up, but the problem is following it through so that the people see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And so I think that that's the question she is posing to you. What can you do to help her? She sees laws in the book of abuse to elderly, and that you could say, if you're going to buy a property, I'm just making it up. If an elderly is approached by a developer, there has to be a worker or some counseling or something to them to help them understand what this pressure is putting on. You could do abuse by saying they're approaching the elderly.
They are prohibited. You need a law which says you are prohibited from
Approaching a building where there's 5% of elderly, where there's,
That's a good one.
I mean, that's a law that means you go away. We want them to go away because the pressure of the daily existence of yes, no, yes, no, yes, no is hurting people's health. We've had 2 people who've died. We have people with high blood pressure. We're not sleeping at night.
But you get it. You see how this is affecting me.
We could seek legislation with the assistance of the legal department to assist you and challenge Tallahassee to change the laws or amend the laws to protect those that are being affected by their problem. They caused the problem. And since I got here and I told you we're dealing with a lot of laws, my opponent supported those laws in Tallahassee. She voted for Live Local, and she's part of the problem.
let me say something. I think Miami Commission?
Absolutely.
Have they said
There's
to you?
one who told me she likes the idea of
Well-
the elder protection.
Okay,
And there's nothing happening. They passed an ordinance. They were supposed to send,
the mayor was supposed to send just, Alex Fernandez's ordinance, which says you can't be harassed, et cetera. People don't know it exists. So the commission, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, passed a thing that said that they were going to send an email to the whole, the mayor's, whatever, newsletter. I haven't seen it yet. It's already 3 weeks. So this is a problem that is hard to address.
But the county has
Okay.
a program,
Okay.
zero interest, $50,000 that can assist you.
I already qualified.
Okay, that's not for Bob. Okay.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you understand that.
Let me
Right.
finish. Apparently you got
You
to
can
go
close it.
someplace and whatever, Thank
We're
you.
waiting for your birthday cake.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I hope I didn't talk too much. I get so excited. There's so many things that we could address and make better. Do we know who's coming? No.
We're gonna have Dario. I forgot his name. The
No,
tax.
Dario.
Fernandez.
Thank you. Yes, Dario Fernandez. The tax. We don't
Tax
have the
collector.
date. Yes,
Let me also say
21st or 28th of April.
that the people that have come here have called us. There is other candidates out there, and I am suggesting that if they are willing to come here, that they call us. They send us an email. Everybody has my number. If they
And
call
I don't
me,
play hard to
my
get.
number is 305-984-2879. 305-984-2879. For any candidate that would like to come, I mean, it's really good, and we'll take it. We're not partisan, and we take, people come and listen through the Wi-Fi.
All right, that is going to. Yeah.
Happy
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. The best Happy birthday to you. Look at that. He still got it.
I got it. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
We love you, Maddie Bauer.
Yes, yes.
We love you very much, Maddie.
Yes, we do.
We wish you the best always.